Hi everybody and welcome to this Scratch tutorial video. The project we're doing today is Dino Dance, an animation project. So this is a fun, simple animation project. I'm going to run the project first so we'll see what the end outcome is going to look like. And it's a couple dinosaurs dancing around. So that'll be 3 sprites, they're changing colors, they're all doing the moonwalk, there's a backdrop. And believe it or not, this is a very simple program. So this one's simple and fun. So let's get started. So I'm going to minimize here, and then I'm going to go to create. So that's how we start a new project. We're going to go to create. It's going to open up the new project screen, and on this screen what we will do first is delete the cat sprite. So we're going to right click the cat and we're going to delete them. We could use the cat, but what we're going to do for this one is we're going to import some of our own sprites, so we don't need the cat. So we're going to right click and delete the cat, and then we are going to select a new sprite down here from the sprite library. So we're going to click this very first button, the guy with the hair, and you'll see all the sprites pop up. So on this one, I let the students go through all the sprites, check out what they have. I asked them to select the dinosaur for this one. And then later on they have the opportunity to select different sprites, go through the whole list. So we're going to select dinosaur 1, double click, and hit OK. So now we have our dinosaur. So the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to get our script started. So over here in the blocks palette, we're going to go to the event blocks. So in the events blocks, the very first one we're going to do, when the green flag is clicked, we're going to select that one, and then drag it over and place it into the script area over here. So this is probably the most common block, one of the most common blocks we use in Scratch. This is the one that starts an event. An event just tells your sprite to do something. It tells the computer program to do something. So what this one does is when this little green flag is clicked, it tells it to start. Alright, so what we're going to do next is we're going to go over to the looks panel in the blocks palette, and we're going to select next costume. Okay, and we're going to drag it over and attach it. Now, if you click this flag, he switches costumes. So you can click each time, he'll switch. So at this point, I always stop the kids and tell them, congratulations, you're a computer programmer. It's that simple. You created a script or a working script or a working algorithm. That simple. I'm going to say, but we need to figure out ways to make it funner. We need to make it more automated. So what we're going to do now is create a loop. So what we want this to change his own costume. We don't want to click it every time. So what we need is a loop. So we're going to go over here to the control block in the blocks palette, and we're going to select forever. Okay, so we're going to select forever and drag it over here. Now you can drag it and drop it right next to this. You can test it with the kids if you want. And then if you click the flag, he'll just change once. Nothing will happen. Because what it's doing is telling the algorithm to start, go to the next costume, and then do something forever. But we haven't told it to do anything forever. So what we're going to do is we're going to click forever again. We're going to detach it, so drag it down. And this time we're going to move it up and wrap it around next costume. If you just move it up in between, it'll automatically wrap around. So there we go. Now he is having a little freak out because he's going through his costumes very quickly. I will show you where the costumes are. In the blocks palette, if you click up here, costumes, you can see these are the costumes that he's cycling through. And we'll check those out later. So what we're going to do is click the scripts button again. So now I ask the kids, what do you think we need to do? And I try to wait until somebody says, well, let's make them wait. And that's the right answer. What we're going to do is grab one of these wait blocks in the same control panel here. So we're going to drag wait into the forever block and drop it. And now what's going to do, when the green flag is clicked, we're going to run this loop forever. We're going to change next costume, wait a second, next costume, and then wait a second, next costume, and then wait a second. Now, controlling this the change speed, the wait speed, is how you simulate dance. So here we have 1 second, it's a little slow. We can do 0.5, moves a little bit quicker. We can do 0.25, even quicker. So we'll stick with 0.5. It seems like a good speed. So now, if we want to make it fun, we can add some stuff. We can go over here to looks, and we can do, let's see, change color effect by 25. So if we drag that into the forever loop, every time it changes its color. So it's just a cool effect. Now we got to make a move. So back in the blocks palette, we're going to go to the motion panel and we're going to find move 10 steps. Click it, drag it over and snap it in. Now, here's what's going to happen. He is going to walk to the right. So move 10 steps. 10 steps means 10 spaces in Scratch, not actually 10 steps across the screen. So now he moves. And I ask the kid, all right, I ask the kids what happened. And most people will say, oh, he went off the screen or he's caught. So I try to say, well, let's get him back. So what we're going to do is go find another block. So the program is just responding to exactly what we're telling it to do. The program is very literal. It doesn't know that if he's on the edge, it'd be cool to have him bounce back, or that's what we want. We need to tell it that. So we're going to go down here in the motion panel, and we're going to find if on edge, bounce, and snap it right into the simple loop. There you go. He hits the edge and bounces back. And there he goes across the screen. Now, he's upside down. And the reason for that is because of his rotational style. So what we're going to do down here in the sprites area, we're going to click this little eye. You can also right click the sprite itself, but if it's moving around sometimes it's hard to get. So down here we've clicked that little eye and we'll find rotational style. That says to turn around. So what we're going to do is just go right and left. Click that middle one, and now when he hits the side, he's just going to bounce back and walk right back across. So congratulations, that is it. That is our script for our sprite. We have it's doing everything we wanted it to do. So now what we're going to do is we're going to jazz this animation up a little bit. So down here in the stage backdrop area, we are going to click this first button, choose a backdrop from library. Alright, and we let the students pick out a backdrop. They'll spend a couple of minutes, 3 or 4 minutes, going through the backdrop to find the right one. Everybody usually picks a different one. For this animation, I'm just going to pick the spotlight one. I don't recommend telling them to pick one. I recommend just having them pick whichever they want. That way they feel more connected to it. So I'm going to select the spotlight one, and there we go. Now he's dancing around. So now what this did, and this is a tricky part that you'll need to pay attention to. This put us into a different area over here. So we're selected down here. We're not selected on our sprites anymore. So while we're selected on the stage, if you go to scripts, you'll see it's blank because this is the scripts area for this backdrop. Now if you click sprite, you'll see that's the script you did for the sprite. So sometimes in this transition, the students will get confused and they'll start putting in scripts in here and they won't understand why it's not working, and that's because your backdrop can have a script as well, your background. So what we're going to do now is click back on the dinosaur and we see that script. Okay, now we're going to pick another sprite. So we're going to go back to the guy and we're going to go find another sprite. I typically have them do Dinosaur 2 because it's a good chance to show them how costumes work. So let's pick Dinosaur 2. Alright, now put him right there. What we can do is click him and drag him and put him on the same line so he looks like he's dancing, or so he's on the same line. Okay, now there's a lot of back and forth. Sometimes students have issues clicking back and forth, but that's part of computer literacy. So we're going to click back on the Dinosaur 1. And on this whole script right here, what we're going to do is right click it and hit the duplicate button. So now duplicate our script. Now here's what we're going to do. We're going to take this and we're going to drag it over and just click Dinosaur 2, the little sprite icon down here. And that's going to drop that script into Dinosaur 2. Now here was a thing I didn't mention. If you ever make a mistake and you've dragged this in here, so turn 15 degrees, and you kind of made a mistake and you want to get rid of it, you can just drag it out and put it right back in the palette area over here and it'll get rid of it. Okay, so now we're going to go click on Dinosaur 2 and we see that the script's in there for him as well. So now we're going to click the green flag and there we go. He starts walking. Oh, and he's upside down. We have to go click the eye and fix it. Right and left. There we go. All fixed. Now if you want them to walk at different speeds, you can do move 15 steps. Sometimes that'll space it out. You can have this guy go a little bit quicker, so costume changes 0.25, or there we go, we can do 0.1. Now he's really tearing across. Now this is an opportunity that I show the students how the first dinosaur we have has tons of costumes, so it really looks like he's dancing. We saw the costumes he had. The second dinosaur, he just kind of looks like he's walking. He's really grumpy. If we go to costumes, we've clicked the second dinosaur, we'll go to costumes. we'll see he's only going between 2 costumes. So his animation's not very interesting. Whereas Dinosaur 1 is going to 7 different costumes. So its animation is looking very interesting. Okay, and then I got 3 dinosaurs on the screen. I'm going to click back to scripts over here. Or I have 2 dinosaurs on the screen, sorry. So we can import a third one. We're going to choose a new sprite. The students can pick anything they want at this point, because we're going to do the same process. It's just to reinforce how to duplicate and copy your code. So here we can do the dog. Let's do the dog on this one. So we have the dog. We're going to go over to one of the dinosaurs. Doesn't matter which one. We'll click duplicate, and we'll drop that into the dog. And now we have a dog running around as well. Oh, we have to change the dog to right and left. Perfect. Okay, and the program is that simple. We've worked on, so we did 3 scripts, we did 3 sprites, we imported a backdrop. The students can change things around. They can change the color effect. So let's try 100 on the dog. Now he's really going strobe between 2 colors. So you can change all kinds of things. It's fully customizable. Yeah, so this is the Dinosaur Dance script, and I hope you enjoy it.